big news this morning. I open up my computer, whip it open, get on the news channel, and every single news piece is Andrew Tate this, Andrew Tate that, fleeing on a private jet. Is Trump involved? So let's set the record straight and let's kind of get to some clarity with what is going on here. Because Andrew Tate is one of the most popular men in our generation, especially for children or individuals younger than the age of 25. He took the internet by storm, being the world's most Googled man. And he inspired millions of young people to get physically active, to get some money, to get stable. So Andrew Tate's a big figure when it comes to pop culture, popular culture. And so the media tries to slander him. He has his own claims about that, and this video is not about that. This video is about kind of what's going on and trying to make sense of the whole story. From what I can see, from all the news articles that I've read, it seems like Andrew Tate is kind of getting involved with Donald Trump. He's been an avid supporter of Trump. Donald Trump is amazing. He's also an avid supporter of Elon Musk. So the recent news seems to be that Trump met with some sort of envoy from Romania and organized for the travel bans on Andrew Tate and his brother to be lifted. So we can see Donald Trump might be involved. There might be a play here. It isn't necessary that Andrew Tate's just being sent to America and he's just going to be jailed there. That most people think that's what happens. They think he's being extradited. They think he's leaving. That might not be the case. That's the one narrative, that Andrew Tate's a criminal and he's going to the US. He's going to be stuck in a jail. They're going to jail him. They're going to put him on trial there. That's the one case. But the other case is that this is just Donald Trump working for one of his most vocal supporters. Look at Andrew Tate. He has over 10 million subscribers or followers on Twitter. So it would be only making sense for Donald Trump to bring him in his corner. They say you should never burn your bridges. So that might be one of the plans that Donald Trump is doing. Maybe he's going to get Andrew Tate and his brother, and as well as the team and security, out of Romania and into America. Maybe he sees Andrew Tate being some sort of political figure through his widespread vocal points and that kind of thing. It could be beneficial for Donald Trump to make friends with Andrew Tate. So if we see within the coming 24, 48 and 72 hours a photo with Andrew Tate and Donald Trump, know for a fact that both of them are working together, that Andrew Tate is serving Donald Trump's purpose and Donald Trump's purpose is being served by Andrew Tate. Know that they're working together. Now the most interesting thing that I've seen on those news articles that I was looking at was that the Tate brothers left on a private jet. So the news articles are going to say, Tate brothers flee from NASA airport on private jet. But really, what might be happening is that they're just moving away from Romania to US. Think of asylums. For example, there are many places in the world where there are wars. Take Ukraine, for example. All the children, families were displaced. And it's not about the war there. It's just about the fact that there's an asylum. And people have to leave. They become immigrants. They have to leave their homes. It happened in World War II. A lot of Jews were persecuted in Germany. Many, unfortunately, lost their lives. But many also were able to seek asylum. There were many Jewish scientists that were able to move to the US, the United Kingdom, and they were able to practice their craft there. So seeking asylum is not a novel concept. Andrew Tate might be working with the United States government, for example, or they might be working to help him to seek asylum. Maybe they believe that he is a right-wing vocalist, that they could benefit from him. That's just one example. He might be seeking asylum. He's not fleeing. He's not running away. He's not being persecuted. He's simply moving, just like normal people move from one country to another. Let's say I was going to move from South Africa to America. I'd pack up my bags. I'd put my laptop in my bag. I'd get my suitcase. I'd pack away my nice shirts. I'd pack away my pillow. I'd get everything ready, and then I'd go on a flight and move to America. Set up a house, get a job there, and live a life there. Start a family, find a wife. Do you understand? It's just like moving countries. It's so simple. There's nothing about fleeing. It's not that I'm scared of anything. It's not that I'm being persecuted. It's just that life is better. There's this whole phrase where they say, the grass is greener over there, or the grass isn't green over there. Some people say, I was speaking to so many old people. I was speaking to my grandfather the other day, and he said, well, sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but sometimes it is. For example, let's say I'm over here. Let's say you are in your position. And you don't like your school, and you don't like your friends, and you don't like your life, you don't like the food you're forced to eat, you hate everything about it. Well, what if you change your life a bit? What if you move places? What if you find a girlfriend? What if you do something different? Well, the grass could be greener. What if you get a job that now you're in this country and you need to move to Mexico to get the job? So you go to Mexico and you get the job and you're more stable, smoking Cuban cigars, for example. In fact, Mexico are famous for that. Or let's say you're going to go work on a tobacco plantation and that's going to earn more money than something else. You're moving because the grass is green on the other side, and maybe the same can be said for Andrew Tate and his brother. So the latest updates seem to be that they departed local time 5 a.m. this morning from NASA airport, fleeing, running away, or just traveling on a private jet. Now that doesn't make sense to me. If somebody is a prisoner and they're being extradited from one of the countries, in this case Andrew Tate and his brother from Romania, to another country which is America, the United States of America, if they're being extradited as prisoners and they are under the status of criminals or convicts, they have a criminal record, there's no way in hell that they would allow that prisoner to go on a private jet. Remember there was that whole thing, it wasn't Pablo Escobar, I don't know who it was, there was another, recently in the last 10 years, there was one of these guys who was a mafia drug dealer. And they caught him, the SWAT team, you saw them with their hands behind this drug dealer as he walked off the tarmac. That drug dealer, I can guarantee you right now, has access to hundreds of millions of pounds, dollars, yen. He's a very wealthy individual. He has cash, physical cash, because he has sold drugs, cocaine and poppy seeds and all these things. But that man was sent in some sort of military vehicle. Like if you go actually look at that video of that drug dealer 8 to 10 years ago, you'll see that he was being carried out in a police helicopter or in a military SEAL Team 6 helicopter or aeroplane. He wasn't going in his own private chartered jet. So that's another thing that maybe hints to the fact that Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate are not just going as prisoners, they're going as general ordinary people. And the final thing that we can say is that Donald Trump and the Trump administration of America do seem to support Andrew Tate in as much as Andrew Tate supports him. Because what they did was, and I already explained this a bit earlier, Donald Trump and his advisors clearly discussed, although in secret, although in private, which resulted in the Trump administration dealing with the Romanian government and organizing for travel bans on Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate to be removed. So, that's the updates that we've got so far. We need to see how the story unfolds. What's going to happen? Are we going to see a famous photo of Andrew Tate in front of the White House? There was something else which is very important. Andrew Tate had a lawyer, and that lawyer represented him. So CNN and all these other news channels paint that lawyer as being very right-wing. But actually, Andrew Tate's lawyer now works in the White House. So you never know if that lawyer who was working with Andrew Tate, who was paid by Andrew Tate, is now one of those what would the word be? Kind of a minion. It's not really a minion, but a person who serves the interests of another. So he's an insider in the government. So Andrew Tate does have an advantage when it comes to the White House because he has one person, at least one of those lawyers who's high-ranking in the White House, who could then help him move certain orders through and give him more freedom. But only time's going to tell. That's the latest update. Let's see what happens with Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, and this overall case. Is he going to be extradited? Will he end up in prison? Or will he be taking photos with Donald Trump and taking him for lunch, chartering private jets? That is something that only time will tell. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate flee on a private jet?